I can usually tell within 30 seconds or less whether a homepage is making a promise the business can't keep. Not because the copy is bad or the visuals suck, but rather because the business starts telling on itself. Welcome to the Aligned Edit. I'm Veronica Dietz, founder of Taiki Digital Agency, business advisor, and diagnostic strategist. I work with founders, consultants, creatives, therapists, and service-based business owners who need sharper positioning, cleaner offers, stronger marketing systems, and a business structure that can actually support growth. This is where we follow the clues, name the pattern, and diagnose what's actually happening beneath the surface. This is the Aligned Edit. Let's edit the noise. I was looking at a homepage recently because I love to poke around and find out, and the headline said, "Support for every stage of your growth." That sounds really nice, and it also sounds generous. It sounds like they've got you covered no matter where you are in your journey. I'm into it. So I clicked the first button, because that's always where I start, right? So now, what does the homepage say? What does the homepage make easy? The button said, "Work with me." That's great. It's normal, it's clear, it's direct. It is promising. It's what the next move should be. But when I clicked it, I landed on a page with 6 different ways to work together. There was a private container, a one-time strategy session, a group program, a course, a membership, a done-for-you service. Oh, wait, and I forgot there's also a pop-up to join the email list. That popped up like 3 times, no matter how many times I closed it. And then suddenly, that promise that was on the homepage started falling apart. Started feeling like a little broken promise, because support for every stage of your growth sounds so generous until all of a sudden the buyer has to diagnose their own stage, choose their own path, and decide which version of support they need before they can even trust themselves to know what the problem is. That was the clue. I sat there and I thought about what this experience actually was, because the homepage promised support. Okay, you promised me support from the very beginning I landed on your page. And then the client path created so much homework. My brain was like, I have enough work to do. I don't need to invest in this as well. So those aren't the same thing. So I asked myself, where else would this show up? And I knew it was not going to stop at the homepage, because homepage confusion almost never stays on the homepage. It moves. It shows up in the discovery call when the founder has to spend 20 minutes explaining which offer is right, which program would be best for someone like you. It shows up in the inbox when people ask, hey, which option should I choose? They're interested, but guess what? They're also paralyzed by decision. It shows up in the sales process where the qualified buyers hesitate. Ooh, we hate that, because they're interested, but guess what? They're not oriented. They don't know where they fit. That's a big problem. It also shows up in the onboarding. Let's say they passed the discovery call, the inbox, and the sales process, and you actually landed them. Now the onboarding is when clients arrive with different expectations because they bought different interpretations of the same promise. They thought they were getting one thing, they got another. It shows up also in the delivery. So when the founder is constantly adjusting the work to match what the client thought they were getting, explaining why the program is structured this way, managing expectations, guess what? Every single week. This mismatch cascades through the entire business. And that's not why I don't look at a homepage as a copy asset, okay? I look at it as a scan. The homepage shows me where the business is misaligned before the founder even says it out loud. And I know this because I've done the same thing. I've been in the same situation. Early in Taiki Digital Agency, it was actually at the time called Vonix. My homepage was basically a resume with buttons: marketing, branding, websites, SEO, ads, funnels, strategy, copy, lead generation, client experience, social media, graphic design, content creation, videography. It was not a homepage. Guess what? It was a menu at Cheesecake Factory. Technically so impressive, but it was also emotionally exhausting. I thought I was showing range. I thought I was covering all the possibilities. I thought I was being helpful, What I was actually showing was that I had no idea what I wanted to be chosen for. Someone would land on my site and they'd see everything I could do, but they wouldn't see why they should hire me specifically. So I either got the wrong inquiries, people looking for websites or ads or copywriting, or I got no inquiries at all. My conversion rate was rough because my homepage had given people no clues about where to start. So what did I do? I changed it. I took most of it off. I got really specific about what I actually do. I work with founders who think they need marketing when they actually need diagnosis. I work with founders who are about to make an expensive decision. I help them see what's actually broken before they spend money. That's what I'm known for. That's what my best clients hire me for, what they rave about. That's what I'm actually best at. So that's what my homepage said. Not I can do marketing, branding, strategy, ads, websites, copywriting, and lead generation, but rather I help founders diagnose the business before they execute. Direction session, diagnostic strategist, stop starting over. The homepage stopped listing capabilities and started making a promise. And something changed immediately. My conversion rate improved. But more importantly, the inquiries I got were different. They weren't just warm, they were hot, they were ready. People knew exactly why they were reaching out. They recognized themselves in exactly what I was saying. They saw and felt the need and resonated with my offer. Because finally, someone could land on the site and know within 10 seconds whether they were my person or not. I have a friend who's a radiologist, and she looks at x-rays and MRIs all day, and she told me that once you know how to read a scan, you can see the whole story of the body and what it's trying to tell you. You can see where the things are broken or disconnected or misaligned, or maybe a foreign object is inside. And that's what a homepage is. It's the MRI of your business. Not to diagnose the homepage, but to diagnose what's underneath. And for those of you who still haven't put a website together, or maybe you let it retire and expire and you are thinking you're doing fine without a website, that also is telling on you. That's a big tell. So not only do you not have a full picture of what the diagnosis is, we already understand that the diagnosis is your positioning, is your visibility, is your ability to convert an online user to a client or lead. So I digress. If you don't have a website though, I would love to chit chat with you and find out what's going on and why you don't have a site and why you think that's not important. But let's continue, because the diagnose what's underneath with that homepage, here's what I'm looking for when I land on the homepage. First, can I answer one question in 10 seconds? Who is this for? Not who could this be for, but who is it actually built for? Second, is there a clear entry point? Are you making me choose between 5 equally important things? Third, does the promise on the homepage match the promise I'll experience in a discovery call? Because if it doesn't, that's telling me the positioning isn't actually aligned across the business. Fourth, what does this page make easy? Does it make it easy to understand who you're for, or does it make it easy to show off everything you can do? Because those are not the same thing. The homepage was the MRI scan. The business was the patient. And once you know how to read it, you can see everything underneath. And that's the edit. Stop solving around the problem. Name it. If this sounded a little too familiar, or if you are that person without a website, I would love to chit chat with you. But don't keep adjusting the surface of the business. Book a direction session with me at veronicadietz.com and we'll look at the positioning before anything else. The offer, the marketing, the client path, the structural issue driving the actual problem. And we're going to course correct. We're going to get you oriented in the right direction and have a 90-day decision map where you are putting the right effort and consistency and time in the right direction. Until then, you can always grab the free offer, Why This Feels Off, on my website, and I'll talk soon.